headed out in the morning to see if we could find some Jewish outposts in the West Bank, ones that were small, unestablished, and unauthorized. We decided to drive to Havat Gilad, which is known for having clashed with both its Palestinian neighbors as well as the Israeli police force and the army. Israel has a love-hate relationship with the settlers. Nearly 40% of Israelis think the settlers shouldn't be in the West Bank, but their views have never translated into government policy, and many blame this on the influence of extremist religious parties who believe that the Palestinian territories were promised to them by God. Israel's prime minister says he wants a two-state solution, but he's never actually said he wants to evacuate the settlements, and although he recently broke free of a coalition with the religious parties, he's still a strong supporter of the settlement enterprise.
There is no government that supports or will support settlements more than the government I lead.
This means Palestinians can expect more settler expansion and more tension with the Israelis and their army. And on our way to the settlement, we noticed a bit of a commotion involving a bunch of Palestinians and some Israeli soldiers. We saw off to the side of the road this group of Palestinians, but they're being watched over by Israeli security forces, so we're wondering what's going on here.
هذه أرض لمزارعين من قرية كفر لاكف. اليوم صباحا تواجد هالمستوطنين قاعدين بيشتغلوا في الأرض هاي. توجهنا لهم شو ليش أنتم فايتين عليها وهي مش أرضهم، يعني هي أرض لمواطنين عندنا من القرية. وكلنا إحنا بنبحث عن آثار وعن شغلات زي هيك يعني في الأرض تمهيدا لأنه يبنوا عليها أو يصادروها.
It turns out Israel had mobilized its army to allow an Israeli archaeological team to dig up a field. The Palestinian villagers weren't happy because they saw it as the first step in the expansion of a nearby settlement. This is totally crazy because this is an archaeological dig being carried out by the Israeli authorities in the West Bank, and this is how many soldiers you need in order to protect this archaeological excavation. But what's even more nuts is that the Palestinians are doing the manual labor. So the Israelis have hired Palestinians to do an illegal excavation in the Palestinian territories.
This is our land, our land of Jewish, of Am Israel, you know. Am Israel come back to our land. And if the Arabs want, they can go to Syria or to Egypt. This land, it's for the Jewish people from all the world. Okay? Our parents live here about 2,000 years ago, and we come back to our land, to our own.
What is this place? What is the significance of this site? But they're on the wrong side of the green line for doing archaeological digs. No? I mean, I'm just asking if that's correct.
I don't know. Are you recording?
I don't know. I don't know.
No picture to me.
So those soldiers really didn't want me to talk to the Palestinians who are apparently upset about this archaeological dig taking place here. The reason they're upset is because a lot of times when the Israelis do an archaeological dig, they then build a sort of memorial around any Jewish artifacts that they find, and it becomes a place of pilgrimage for the settlers who come here, and then, you know, bit by bit, the Palestinians feel that they're losing even more land. Turns out the guy who was leading the excavation, and who casually shrugged us off, was Ben-Ari, an ultra-right member of Israel's parliament who lived in the settlement across the road. And Ben-Ari had a history of questionable behavior. Besides openly advocating for the departure of Palestinians from the West Bank, the US refused to grant him a visitor's visa because he'd been included on the State Department's terrorist watch list. Oh, and he's also been known to post heartwarming photos on his Facebook page, like this one, which shows him and a buddy relaxing on a couch, confiscated from an Arab family that had just been evicted from their home. Unfortunately, the soldiers were pressuring us to leave the site, so we got back on the road and continued our trek to Havat Gilad, which is known for attracting its own set of problems. Besides it being a hotspot for violence, Israel is known to come in and routinely bulldoze these illegal outposts. But the settlers are always more than happy to rebuild, so we were curious to see what shape the place was in. When we arrived, we came upon two teenagers who were building a house from the ground up.
קצת מערב פרוע בשתי הצדדים, מלחמה תמידית, נלחם על הארץ שלי, ואני גאה בזה.